Welcome back. Today we're diving into something that could completely change the way we think about online authentication, blockchain usability, and even the future of decentralized computing. We're going to be exploring the launch of Internet Identity 2.0 from the Internet computer ecosystem. Now, if you've been following developments in crypto and Web3, you already know that authentication and security are some of the biggest pain points. Most systems rely on clunky logins, risky seed phrases, or complex hardware wallets that confuse newcomers. But Internet Computer, led by the team at Definity, has taken a very different approach. This update, Internet Identity 2.0, isn't just a minor tweak. It's a complete rethinking of how users can interact with decentralized applications, also known as dApps, in a way that feels natural, safe, and seamless. Think of it like moving from the early days of dial-up internet into the era of high-speed Wi-Fi. The core concept remains, but the experience becomes so much smoother that it fundamentally shifts adoption. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always do your own research and consult a professional before making any investment decisions. In this video, we're going to break everything down in detail. We'll cover what Internet Identity 2.0 is, how it actually works, what makes it so different from authentication methods in other ecosystems like Ethereum or Solana, and why this launch could be a critical step for Internet Computer's mission to become the world's computer. We'll also discuss the potential challenges, the risks that come with making login systems easier, and how this move could impact adoption in the long run. So buckle up. This is going to be an in-depth discussion of where decentralized identity is heading and why Internet Identity 2.0 might just be the most important update we've seen in blockchain usability in years. To set the stage, let's go back to the basics. Internet Identity is essentially an authentication service for the Internet computer blockchain. In simple terms, it's the way you prove that you are you when interacting with applications within the ecosystem. Now, if you're used to Ethereum or other blockchains, you'll know that authentication usually comes down to connecting a wallet. Your wallet address is your identity, and every time you interact with a decentralized exchange, a DeFi app, or even an NFT marketplace, you're prompted to connect wallet and sign transactions. That system works, but it's far from user-friendly. For people new to crypto, wallets can be intimidating. You have to manage seed phrases, hardware devices, or browser extensions, and even a small mistake can mean losing your funds forever. On top of that, wallets often mix financial transactions with basic login functions, which means even something as simple as signing into an app carries the same risks as moving your life savings. Internet Computer looked at this problem and said, "We can do better." Their Internet Identity system separates identity from direct wallet usage. Instead of making every interaction a financial risk, it allows people to authenticate themselves in a way that feels much closer to how companies use single sign-on systems in the corporate world. For example, when you log in once at work and suddenly have access to email, cloud storage, internal apps, and more, that's single sign-on. Internet Identity aims to bring a similar convenience to Web3. Internet Identity 1.0 already allowed users to create a kind of blockchain-based proof of who they are. It worked, but it wasn't perfect. People had to manage identity numbers, which acted like identifiers, and while that was a step forward from traditional crypto wallets, it still introduced friction. Now, with Internet Identity 2.0, Definity has rebuilt the service from the ground up. The new version introduces several important improvements. First, it replaces passwords or identity numbers with passkeys. Instead of remembering a number or relying on clunky seed phrases, you can authenticate using secure credentials stored directly on your devices. This could be your smartphone, laptop, or other hardware. It makes logging in much more seamless, though, of course, it still requires users to be mindful of their device security. Another major change is the removal of identity numbers. In version 1.0, users had to keep track of these numbers to authenticate themselves. In 2.0, that's gone. The system now leverages discoverable passkeys, which allow for a smoother login process without the need to track, copy, or store identifiers. Perhaps the most striking update is integration with Google Sign-In. For billions of people around the globe, using Google to log in is second nature. By offering this option, internet identity lowers the barrier to entry dramatically. At the same time, it does raise questions about centralization and what happens if a user's Google account is compromised. Internet Identity 2.0 also allows multiple accounts under one identity. This is powerful because you can now create different accounts for various apps, personal, professional, or test accounts, all linked back to one internet identity. No more juggling multiple logins. Lastly, the entire user interface has been redesigned for clarity and ease of use. The login process looks and feels far more intuitive, removing one of the biggest barriers to adoption in blockchain systems: user experience. The big picture here is usability. Internet Computer isn't just another blockchain that wants to transfer money from point A to point B. Their mission is much larger. They want to host full applications, run AI models, store data, and become a decentralized alternative to the traditional cloud. For that vision to work, easy login is non-negotiable. Think about it. If a company is building a social platform, a productivity tool, or an AI-powered service on Internet Computer, they can't expect every new user to go buy a Ledger hardware wallet just to sign up. That would kill adoption instantly. Instead, by offering something like Internet Identity 2.0, they make the experience familiar and smooth while still keeping it anchored in blockchain-level security. And it's not just about convenience. By separating identity from wallets, Internet Computer reduces risk. On Ethereum, if you sign into a malicious dApp with your wallet, you could lose your funds. With Internet Identity, the login layer is distinct, making it harder for hackers to exploit. Now let's talk about Caffeine AI, one of the showcase projects tied to this rollout. Caffeine AI is described as the first large language model in blockchain capable of coding, creating dApps, and even building websites directly hosted on Internet Computer. When you log into Caffeine AI, you're already experiencing Internet Identity 2.0 in action. Instead of struggling with seed phrases or wallets, you authenticate through this new system. It's essentially a demonstration of how Internet Identity will empower future decentralized applications. So how do users actually upgrade? There are currently two main pathways. First, you can visit id.ai directly and follow the upgrade process. Second, the next time you sign into an app that uses Internet Identity, like Caffeine AI, you'll be prompted to upgrade automatically. The process itself is straightforward. You'll authenticate with your current credentials, set a name for your identity, not unique, just for recognition, and then create a new passkey. The best part? The upgrade is backward compatible. Apps still running on Internet Identity 1.0 will continue to work, so you don't lose access. This all ties into Internet Computer's ultimate ambition, to become the world's computer. Unlike blockchains focused narrowly on money or DeFi, Internet Computer wants to provide the full stack: computation, storage, AI, and now simplified identity. No other blockchain ecosystem offers this kind of integrated login experience. Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, they all rely heavily on wallets. And while wallets are fine for transactions, they are far from ideal for running large-scale apps or enterprise-level systems. By building Internet Identity, Definity is effectively creating the Web3 version of single sign-on. Of course, no system is perfect. A few concerns remain. If people rely on Google sign-in, what happens if their Google account is hacked? How secure are the passkeys stored on devices? What if the device itself is compromised? Are these identities on-chain or off-chain? Definity hasn't made that entirely clear. Could there be exploits that undermine the system? These are critical questions that will need to be addressed over time. Still, the fact that Definity continues to test, gather feedback, and roll out updates shows they are serious about improving security and usability hand in hand. It's worth zooming out here. Remember when Facebook rebranded to Meta and spent tens of billions of dollars pushing the metaverse? They promised a future where everyone would live, work, and play in virtual worlds. But fast forward, and what do we have to show for it? Not much. The project fizzled, and the company rarely discusses it now. The lesson? Experimentation matters, but so does transparency about what works and what doesn't. With Internet Computer, it's clear that Definity is experimenting aggressively. Some things may not work out, But others, like Internet Identity 2.0, could redefine the ecosystem. To wrap things up, Internet Identity 2.0 is a massive step forward for Internet Computer. By eliminating identity numbers, introducing passkeys, enabling multiple accounts, and even integrating with Google Sign-In, Dfinity has made the login process both easier and safer. This matters because Internet Computer isn't just about cryptocurrency. It's about creating a decentralized compute platform that can rival traditional cloud systems. Of course, risks remain. Security, centralization concerns, and open technical questions all need answers. But the direction is clear. Internet Computer is innovating in ways few other ecosystems even attempt. While other blockchains are still struggling with basic scaling, Dfinity is rolling out authentication systems, AI integrations, and full-stack compute solutions. So, whether or not Internet Identity 2.0 becomes the standard, it shows us one thing. Internet Computer is playing a different game. They're not just building a blockchain, they're building a new internet. And that, in my opinion, makes this one of the most exciting updates in the entire crypto and tech world today. So, what do you think about ICP's current position? Are you bullish on its growth in AI and DeFi? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay cautious, and I'll catch you in the next one.